Welcome to Story Route Zero.
This is a podcast where friends gather to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the strange worlds of video games. We often don't know where we're going, but that's half the fun. Come on the journey with us. Hit us up on Twitter at StoryRoute0. You can send us an email at StoryRoute0@gmail.com. That includes questions, concerns, comments, complaints, pet pics. Send us some recipes. Send us some stories about your day. We're going to listen.
Podcast, start your engines. We have liftoff. Let's have a journey.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. It's Story Route 0, episode 85. For some reason, I've got a sharp pain in my head. I don't know how that happened. It really just happened. My name is Matthew Keel. This is Story Route 0. We talk about video games. I have, luckily, 3 friends to save me right now. Jason, how are you?
Confused, but doing well.
Michaela, what'd it do?
No.
It's okay. It's all right. I'll power through. We're good. Moose, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Cool. Yes, we've done 80. This is our 85th one of these, and true to the pattern, something always happens crazy. So yeah, how was everybody's weekend? Thumbs up from Moose. I got a nod from Michaela. Thumbs up from Jason. Any highlights?
Clemson won. It's always a highlight.
Oh, the Eagles won at loss, but it was to Miami.
About friggin' time on both accounts.
Notre Dame won and dropped in the rankings because college football system is
Fuck.
Jacked up. Yeah.
stupid.
The Pats lost, but Mac Jones played well. So that was still positive in my book.
Cool. I did not watch any football, American or otherwise, this weekend.
Foosball's the devil.
Yes, it totally is. No, we did what did we do? Nothing special. We just hung out. Pretty good. Saturday played some games, and yesterday made some food, drank, ate some food. It's a good time. But let's talk about the games we've been playing. Who wants to go first? I feel like Michaela had nothing to say last time. Do you have anything to say this time?
I have lots of things to say this time.
Wow, that's
Or is yours?
good.
All right, so we'll start with the short one, the short and sweet. About an hour after we recorded the last episode, I finished up the platinum for Ender Lilies, game you may have never heard of.
Nope.
Nope.
We
never
didn't totally do a full episode on it.
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah, no, that was a nice, easy platinum. As far as like Metroidvanias go, it was very, very much just explore everything. That's about it. Is pretty easy, nice platinum for a great game. And then the day after that, F.I.S.T. Forged in Shadow Torch came out, which is a game that I have been waiting for a very long time. I know I am not the only one in this group that has been playing it, although Jason is definitely ahead of me at this point for reasons we'll get to in a moment. But Forged in Shadow.
Welcome to Story Route Zero.
This is a podcast where friends gather to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the strange worlds of video games. We often don't know where we're going, but that's half the fun. Come on the journey with us. Hit us up on Twitter at StoryRoute0. You can send us an email at StoryRoute0@gmail.com. That includes questions, concerns, comments, complaints, pet pics. Send us some recipes. Send us some stories about your day. We're going to listen.
Podcast, start your engines. We have liftoff. Let's have a journey.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. It's Story Route 0, episode 85. For some reason, I've got a sharp pain in my head. I don't know how that happened. That really just happened. My name is Matthew Keel. This is Story Route 0. We talk about video games. I have, luckily, 3 friends to save me right now. Jason, how are you?
Confused, but doing well.
Michaela, what it do?
No.
It's okay.
What?
It's all right. I'll power through. We're good. Moose, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Cool. Yes, we've done 80. This is our 85th one of these, and true to the pattern, something always happens crazy. So yeah, how was everybody's weekend? Thumbs up from Moose. I got a nod from Michaela. Thumbs up from Jason. Any highlights?
Clemson won. It's always a highlight.
Oh, the Eagles won at loss, but it was to Miami.
About friggin' time on both accounts.
Notre Dame won and dropped in the rankings because college football system is
Fucked.
Jacked up.
stupid.
The Pats lost, but Mac Jones played well. So that was still positive in my book.
Cool. I did not watch any football, American or otherwise, this weekend.
Foosball's the devil.
Yes, it totally is. No, we did what did we do? Nothing special. We just hung out. Pretty good. Saturday played some games, and yesterday made some food, drank, ate some food. It's a good time. But let's talk about the games we've been playing. Who wants to go first? I feel like Michaela had nothing to say last time. Do you have anything to say this time?
I have lots of things to say this time.
Wow, that's
Or is yours?
good. Good.
All right, so we'll start with the short one, the short and sweet. About an hour after we recorded the last episode, I finished up the platinum for Ender Lilies, game you may have never
Yes.
heard of.
Nope.
Nope.
We
never
didn't. We
discussed.
didn't totally do a full episode on it.
No,
No.
not at all.
No.
Yeah, no, that was a nice, easy platinum. As far as like Metroidvanias go, it was very, very much just explore everything. That's about it. Is pretty easy, nice platinum for a great
Mhm.
game. And then the day after that, F.I.S.T. Forged in Shadow Torch came out, which is a game that I have been waiting for a very long time. I know I am not the only one in this group that has been playing it, although Jason is definitely ahead of me at this point for reasons we'll get to in a moment. But Forged in Shadow Torch is an indie from the China Hero Project, which you guys have heard me talk about before. Fun fact, if you Google search China Hero Project, the first link obviously is the official China Hero Project website. The second link is my stupid ass ranting about it. So
Not chasing cloud at all. No, I'm kidding.
but I do love that, you know, Sony is very good about promoting indies. Actually, I was just checking my email before this, and I had an email from them about promoting PlayStation indies, not the China Hero Project specifically, but they are very good about that. And this obviously is them helping developers in China, which is a very tough market to break out of because of the extra processes that China makes everything go through, especially censorship wise, and getting them some global platform recognition. And F.I.S.T. it was one of a few games that reviewed very, very well last week. F.I.S.T. reviewed very well last week. Tales reviewed very well. Life is Strange reviewed very well. Obviously, we'll get to this later, but Deathloop is currently reviewing very well. So it's a good time to be a gamer. And Fist is fucking gorgeous. Gorgeous. I made this tweet that the environments were making me think it looks like Midgar. It almost looks like Midgar. It's like steampunk dystopian Midgar with animals. So like Cloud Strife, but a rabbit. Just live in that moment. And it's great with a giant mech fist.
I watched the snippet of gameplay that you posted, and I'm like, wow, this is how I remember the original Shadow Complex looking.
Yeah, it's fucking dope.
Oh yeah,
it looks dope. I haven't played Shadow Complex since it came out. So I don't know how well that game's aged, if it's aged well at all. But
the remaster looks good. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's not leaps and bounds over what
Sure.
it was when it was on 360 and PS3, but it looks good.
Yeah. But looking at that, I'm like, man.
Yeah, this does look really good.
Part of me feel like with that, and especially Deathloop, part of me thinks I have made an incorrect decision on waiting, but it is what it is.
Well, Fist, I can highly recommend. So it's got some Metroidvania-ishness in there. So you do unlock abilities that let you explore the map a little bit more as you go. You got more than just the fist in your arsenal. Like the second weapon you unlock is a drill, and you can spin the drill to use it like a fan to like ride some, updrafts and shit like that. And you've got all different combos, and you can unlock skills by collecting currency and hitting upgrade stations. And it's got some challenge to the combat as well, and some challenge to the platforming, and it just all feels really good. The voice acting is really good. The sound is awesome. The music is dope. The music is so good. I wasn't really expecting the game to sound and look quite this good because of how small the team is, and it's just above expectations so far. I have honestly only played about 5 or 6 hours of it. So I'm not super far, maybe a little less than a third of the way through. I don't know, quarter of the way through, somewhere thereabouts. But
As a control,
it's pretty good, pretty responsive. Yeah, and the combos are fun to pull off. Yeah, and then like if you break like an enemy's stance, essentially they glow yellow, and you get to do like those finisher moves like I showed in the tweet footage. Those are always fun to pull off, and you can upgrade it so like you get perks, like it restores shit for you, if I remember correctly, if you pull it off, because you get like a limited number of heals or a limited number of parries and shit like that you have to spend a bar to use, and then you also get like a special gauge like you always do, so you can pull off, like you have to spend that equivalent of like MP or whatever to pull off certain moves that do like extra damage and give you like all the beautiful iframes and shit. So yeah.
Nice.
Enjoying Fist, but I stopped playing Fist on Friday because Tales of Arise came out, and the JRPG addiction is real. Don't worry, Matt. I will not be talking spoilers at all.
Thank you.
No problem. I got you. I ain't no asshole. I am pushing close to 6 hours. Excuse you, bitch.
Are we gonna witness a murder? Damn. Anyways.
Moving on. I
will have earned it.
But no, I am close to 15 hours into Tales. It is only my second Tales game. I have a couple that are in my backlog that I picked up on sale because they go on deep sale. Like you can get some of these games for like $5 to $15, no problem.
Yes.
But I came in at Bizarria. So this is new for me, but that said, it's still a JRPG. I know my shit. It's got like the character panel storytelling that you see in recent games like Scarlet Nexus pick up from games like Tales, but also Valkyria Chronicles does that, and I really like that. And you can choose how much you want to engage with the character building. Like you don't have to watch all of the extra skits. It's like basically having extra cutscenes, and if you don't want to deal with it, you don't have to. but the game is fucking beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, if you like Ys games, which is another long-running action JRPG as opposed to turn-based JRPG, then you're gonna like what Tales is doing as well. And as somebody who has played games like Ys, Valkyria Chronicles, and Scarlet Nexus, getting back to Tales, I'm like, yes, this is where a lot of those inspirations came from. And now the franchise is visually taking this big step forward. The environments are fucking gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. I cannot lay off the screenshot button on my controller constantly. So pretty, and the music is so good. And then, of course, once in a while, you hit those full-on, like, anime-looking extra cutscenes that take you out of the standard engine for the game. And those are pretty. The story is really interesting. Bare bones, basic idea of the story is there's two planets, Donna and Rena, then the Renans invaded the Donnans and basically have subjugated them, turned them into slaves, and they put these like stones in them to draw out their life essence essentially and harness that. There's 5 regions, so there's 5 major lords. The lords take that energy to basically have a big dick measuring contest every 10 years to decide who's going to be king. So they're basically slaves getting their life energy sucked out by the lords, and then the lords duke it out every 10 years to decide who has the biggest magic penis. And you're going to go and kill all of them. I've killed 2 so far. I've killed 2 of them so far. Your main character is this dude with an iron mask who has no memory at first. Like, he doesn't even remember his name. Nobody knows what his face looks like because he can't take the mask off. Of course, you progress past that. And then you've got your very classic tsundere, female second character. Although I've been going back and forth, I'm going to say Scarlet Nexus still out tsunderes this year. And so far, Kasane, who is the female protag in that game, is more tsundere than Shion, who is the female protag in this game. Shion I actually really like. I don't mind the tsundere like trope as much as some people do, but she's got these really cute moments where she's always constantly hungry. So one of her idle animations is her just like scarfing down food, and it's great. She's this really pretty, standoffish, tough girl for good reason. So the main character, his whole thing is he can't feel pain, and her whole thing is that if somebody touches her, these purple magic thorns sprout out and they feel instant pain. So if she can't be touched, she has like no physical human contact. So she's a little standoffish. And she's also one of the Renans, the invaders, whereas everybody else who you play as are going to be the Donnans, the rebelling slave race. So a lot of people don't trust her because she's a Renan. So it's all very interesting world building, really intriguing, although fairly standard JRPG story. The quality of life is so good in this game. The fast travel is super, super slick. There's points everywhere. So it's like, you need to advance this quest, go, done. PS5 loaded it. You can't even read the tip screen. The combat is so fucking good because you've got your standard melee attacks, and then everybody's got their arts, which are their special moves, and then everybody has this like boost meter that's building up, and that's mapped to your D-pad, and their boost meters do different things. So like Alphen does a lot of AoE damage. Shion can knock flying enemies down because she's a gunner / mage. You get another mage character, and she can like interrupt enemy spellcasters and steal their spells with her boost attack. You have a berserker type character who can break armor with his boost attack. And then if you do enough damage, a special boost meter will fill up on enemies that turns blue. And then you get a special boost attack that just kills everything. So that's fun. And then you also have this other meter that's building up. There's so many meters. It's a JRPG. What the fuck? But, and you enter this like over limit mode, like your limit break mode. And then if you like land one of your attacks and hold some buttons, you enter into a mystic arc, which blows even more shit up. So everything's just blowing up, and it's beautiful, and there's pixel art and effects everywhere. There's fucking shit going nuts. Can't see what's happening. It's fun.
Quick question.
Yes.
Quick question: where does Tales of Arise end and Dragon Ball Z begin? Because it seemed like that's exactly what that was.
Instead of your hair glowing, your eyes glow. Small
Oh,
difference. So there you
awesome.
go.
So
Yeah.
that's okay. Copyright avoided. Nice.
That's pretty much what it is. It's fucking dope. It feels so good. And every character plays really unique. So it's fun. Like Alphen is your super standard. I just want to go in there and smack shit in the face with a sword. And then Shion is like when you're playing Hades and you're like, I don't think I like the bow. And then you use the bow and you're like, wait a minute, I kind of like the bow. Because
Yeah.
she's your gunner, your range. She's fun to play with. She's also your healer. And then the mage comes in and you can like charge her attacks and then hold them and stack them and make these combos and extra level spells. Those are fun to play with. And then you get your berserker, and the more hits he lands consecutively without getting hit, he goes into berserk mode and does more damage. First he glows blue and then he glows yellow. Lots of glowing and particle effects everywhere. It's really fucking fun and it's rewarding. And it's not like a lot of times you get into these, like when I play East, this is a criticism of East, the characters, yeah, they do different things, but they don't feel too different when you're playing as them. Like one is a little bit slower because he uses a hammer, and the other one's a little bit less AoE because she uses like a stab attack instead of like a sweeping attack. But the characters really feel different to learn, and they're good against different enemy types, and not just because it's like a rock, paper, scissors, Pokemon style, like this one's weak to this shit. It's because you have to approach things differently to do damage and trigger certain conditions within battle to, like, you know, you go, if you don't want to like just be slugfesting every fight, you want to go in there, trigger these meters and blow shit up and get the fuck out. Because you also don't want to be spending a ton of your mana to heal your party, because like the party shares like a mana system that goes down and down and down and down and down. And it's used for healing and support and for map actions. So like if you have to like break down a wall to progress or something like that. So I've talked too long about this. I could talk longer. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm loving it. And I need more of it. So Tales of Arise, very fucking good.
Yeah, everything I've seen from it makes me want to play it. So hopefully it will happen before the end of this year. What else you got? Anything?
Those three.
Sure. Cool. Moose, Jason?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Played, so I believe the last show I was playing through Spider-Man. So I finally beat Spider-Man, Platinum Spider-Man. I thought it was good. Story could have been a little bit better. I get tired of like these superhero stories where it's like, I feel like Miles Morales got gypped because he could have like whooped the Tinkerer's ass like in like the earliest part of the game, but then again it's like, well, then there's no game, you know what I mean? Because like she's got to keep winning, so you can continue playing the game. It's like, well, then that's shitty writing. Like you could do a better job writing it. Like
it's the James Bond thing. It's the James Bond thing. I'm gonna tell you how I'm going to do this. So.
Or like you're gonna eke by, or I'm gonna win by the slightest bit and let you live, and then we're gonna fight again, and then I'm gonna eke by, and it's like he does electricity attacks with the venom attacks, and her little boost pack runs on electricity. Just shock the fucking shit out of it, and she can't do anything. So, but anyways, so I feel like they misused Rhino too. I thought it was good. He was good up to a certain point. I feel like they could have moved that fight to the end, and he could have, like, if they would have told the story where Miles like webbed her up and she was trapped and then had to fight Rhino, and her redemption arc was like coming to help him fight Rhino and beat Rhino, and that would have been it. I didn't like the way they killed her off. But I mean, you know, sacrificing somebody for a story, you know, kind of adds value to, you know, her redemption. So I can see why they did it that way too. I thought it would have been cool to see her in future stories of his. But anyways, I thought the action was good. The Platinum was real easy. I should have just played it on PS4 and then popped the trophies on 5, but I wanted to see like how it played on PS5. So now that they've announced what we're going to talk about later, I'm going to go back and play it like later next year or the year after, and then get the platinum on the PS4 because it's not really that tough to get the platinum. It's not tough at all. So played that, platinum that, and then just yesterday I platinum Trigger Witch and beat Trigger Witch, which is a good game. Yeah.
Until
well, so it was really funny is like I kept playing it and I really put the pedal to the metal on being it because I wanted to talk about it in this show because Jason was like, that was like a complete left turn. And he's like, I had to message Michaela and tell Michaela, and I'm just like, well, shit, now I want to know what this left turn is. And so like, I'm just playing. And I get there and I think I laughed at it because it was so absurd.
Oh yeah.
It was more of a laugh at it than it was like a what the fuck moment. I'm just like, whatever, this is what we're doing now. And so
okay, I'm going to interject here because I want to have this talk. So Michaela has been spoiled with this, I think, per her consent. But anybody who might listen to this the next like 5-10 minutes, probably going to spoil the shit out of Trigger Witch. So if you're interested in it, skip 5 or 10 minutes. If not, be ready. So this game is adorable as hell. Like it is a nice spin on. You look at a lot of twin stick shooters that have come out, especially from like Eastern European developers. I don't know where this dev team is from. I'm not really going to make
Australia.
Okay, so
New Zealand.
So, but like games like Ruiner and I mean, I'm going to throw. It's not a twin stick shooter, but I'm going to throw Mother Russia Bleeds in there. So, but it's kind of going to help me form my argument. There's an overt need to be edgy and violent to weird degrees. What really attracted me to Trigger Witch is it's kind of doing the same thing, but it's saying, you know, we're just witches with guns. Like, yes, there's still violence there, but the packaging and the delivery is different for 7/8 of this game. And then you go to the final level and you start seeing flags with hammer and sickles on them. So you're like, we're in Russia all of a sudden. And then you get to the end. You meet the man in black that you've been chasing. Now I was sitting there in my mind, I'm like, it'd be great if there was some reference to Johnny Cash because I thought that would be funny. But no, it's Joseph goddamn Stalin.
Yes, it is.
And how did we get here? Like, how did I don't think this is like a bad story because of it. I think it just leans into the absurdity because after all, you are witches who canonically kind of rely on magic, but now they've forgotten how to do magic, so they use guns because they found guns. And then you realize it's been like an entire arms race for a few generations. But then they put Stalin in a mech.
Yeah.
And I'm just, why? And I would ask these questions to the developer, but I know that if you just start DMing a developer and going, why this, you look like a real asshole online. And I would just like to say, I don't want to do that to this developer. I just want to know what they did to decide that all of a sudden we're going to just put one of the worst dictators in the history of Western civilization in a game that is overtly adorable and super charming. All that said, none of it really ruins it. I mean, sure, maybe. What are they juxtaposing it with? Like, it feels nice to have said all that.
Yeah, it's just, but but then there's a whole, it's not just, oh, here's Stalin. Like there's a whole, like, oh, the reason guns come through the portal, we've never figured out how to send people through, so only our weapons have come through this portal. And then, like, it's weird because Mecha Hitler in Wolfenstein just seems okay. This makes sense.
Yeah.
Mecha Stalin,
Put him in a robot.
what?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they shoot off to go to the moon.
The
And
moon.
you gotta use the rooms that you've got to like get there, and so like you're fighting him along the way, and then you get to the moon, and then he takes his final. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's it
Like-
is crazy, but like as soon as we got through, and then like he revealed himself, I'm like, all right, we're doing it for the hell of it. Like we're just having fun.
I think that
you know?
the fact that the game ends shortly after helps the absurdity, because I think if that was the reveal and then we had to play more, it would kind of diminish it. It's kind of like it's almost
Yeah.
like a twist ending because it's literally reveal, fight, space, fight,
Yeah,
done.
you're done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one of those like, wait, what? And it's not. And for those who are listening and don't care about spoilers, it's not like, oh, this looks like Stalin. Like it legit says Joseph
Yeah.
Stalin.
Joseph Stalin.
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah.
you get it, I think it actually does say Mecha Stalin.
And
Yes, it does.
And the rocket is Red Death.
Yeah, like and I mean, and I applaud the fact that they kind of decided to write that in a lot, like the arms race thing. They were throwing their weapons through the portal to see if it would do anything, and it didn't. And different weapons came because of building different technologies, and all of that is fine. But like Michaela and I really like Nier. And Nier, with all of its absurdity and all of its bombast and outright just whacked out wonderfulness, Nier kind of makes sense in a lot of ways, whereas this is just like, and Stalin.
I just think, I mean,
And ultimately, yeah, it's the Sunset Overdrive quote. It's a fucking video game. I get it, and I'm not going to. I don't have the knowledge base to really dig into and analyze all of it because that's just not who I am. But the fact that it just goes there, and like, because Reba had seen me play this a couple times, I'm like, yeah, remember that witch game I was playing? Guess who the end boss is? She's like, I don't know, Mr. Potato Head. I go, no, Joseph Stalin. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I said. And yeah, no, ultimately, like, I'm glad I played Trigger Witch. Glad I enjoyed the hell out of my time with it because it is fun.
yeah, it is.
But holy hell, that end! I'm so glad you beat it, Moose, so we could have this
I
talk.
want to say something.
Go right
This
ahead.
better, some reference to this favorite boss, favorite moment. This better somewhere on somebody's, one of yours list better end up in our Game of the Year episode.
Oh, it
because is
100%
memorable
will.
as fuck.
It 100% will. I mean,
It will.
unless some. I mean, this is like Wolfenstein, the New Colossus levels of weird. And I love the fact that they did it. I am just completely confounded by it, and I'm not mad at any of that. But I needed to have this talk.
Mhm.
Before we get back to business, Moose or Jason, anything else on Stalin?
No, just a good fight, good ending to the
Mhm.
game, and then just platinum isn't too much of a cleanup.
Nope,
If you're
it's really not.
following trophies or achievements as you go, then it's even less than what I had to deal with when I had to clean things up. But
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah,
So-
Trigger Witch is a fun game.
I also dropped it down to like baby mode because I was telling Jason, I'm like, well, I want to talk about this now because I've been playing it and enjoying it, and I'm like, I really don't need to play it on normal. Just gonna turn my damage up and turn the enemy's damage to me down. I'm like, let's go. So, but yeah, it was fun. Guns were fun. I had some issues with the controls, like so like R1 allows you to switch to your weapon that has ammo,
Mhm.
that needs to like quote unquote like reload. Like if you reload,
Yeah.
it switches to your default pistol, which you have unlimited ammo for, which you do the others, but they take a longer reload time. And so I wish like it would have been like you could hit like if you hit reload or something, or like you can hit the R1 button, and if you switch to another gun, it automatically reload the previous weapon. Like instead of having like hit R1, it switches you over to your pistols. Then you have to hit R1 to go back, and then hit R1 again to go to the other weapon, because it switches you off of the weapon you were on. It's like if you're on like the sawed off shotgun and you run out of ammo and you go to hit the reload button, it switches you to your pistol. Well, when you switch back to R1 to your alternate weapons, you're on the sawed off shotgun, which is reloading, and then you have to hit R1 again to switch to your alternate weapon, like the flamethrower or like the sniper rifle or whatever. I just wish you could just hit if you hit R1 to switch weapons, it would just reload for you automatically. Like that weapon would go and reload auto. Because like I'm really gonna leave like 10 bullets in a 40 bullet clip and come back to him and be like, oh, thank you for not giving me all my bullets instead of just, just the 10. I wanted exactly 10. Thank you. But
Yes.
other than that,
I know how many I need to kill this guy.
yeah. Other than that, I thought it was a lot of fun. It's good.
Yes.
So,
Trigger Witch is wonderful. Jason,
sorry,
anything before we
Jason.
move on?
Anything?
No.
It's
Cool.
like, I'm good.
I wrote my review. I'm good.
Yeah, you did. You did. That was your therapy. So Moose, continue.
I also played and just beat Golf Club Wasteland tonight, which is entertaining. It's an interesting game. I liked it a lot. I don't talk about spoilers, but the music is really awesome. So the game has like a story mode and a challenge mode. So like the challenge is like, you have to actually hit the par for the course or whatever. I went with story mode because I was just like, screw it. And I think Matt mentioned it the last time we talked about it, but the damn golfing controls are completely different than any other golfing game. And so it's weirder.
Yeah.
And so that like I tried it. And then I think you do like an intro and then it allows you to go to the screen to start a game or something. Like you do some kind of like quote unquote demo, and then it takes you to the main screen and you can actually start a game. And because of the demo and actually trying to golf with it and stuff, I'm like, I have no idea how to use this system. In my opinion, could be more fine-tuned as far as like sensitivity and stuff. I found my golf ball bouncing off of stuff that I would think it wouldn't from prior like interaction or whatever, or like it would just keep going. And then there's stuff that's like scripted. Like if you hit it onto an escalator, it doesn't bounce anymore like you think it would. It just stops dead on the escalator and just rides the escalator up. And it's like, all right. So anyways, I feel like if they would have did like a more where you could see the actual arc of where it was landing and stuff like that, I think that would have been cooler. But anyways, we got what we got, and I think there's 35 courses you have to go through. The soundtrack is phenomenal. And there was like one course, Jason, you beat it, right? Matt, did you, or are you still working on it?
I'm in the 30s, I think. I'm real close to the end.
Okay. Well, there was the one golf course where you get spoilers, Michaela. Sorry, there's the one golf course where you get introduced to the observer, and he's like telling you, he's like watching through the fence. Like I just like you see the scene where your guy's standing there with the golf club and you see the person through the fence. And I don't know what it was about the song, but I just put my controller down and just listened and watched and just thought about that dude. Just like, what do you think, what's going through his head just watching someone come down to earth to play golf? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was just, it was interesting. It's a very interesting take on the journey of the story as well. Don't want to spoil that either, but if you want to play it, but and Matt hasn't beaten it yet, so but yeah, I recommend checking it out, at least looking into it and seeing some reviews or
I think
whatnot.
it's a traveling simulator with golf as the mode of transportation. Like
Yes.
there's
Yes.
no, it's
Good
not a
call, Jason. Jesus Christ,
Yes.
nailed it.
Yeah.
it's not a golf game because let's be
No.
honest, the golf is fucking atrocious. Like
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not the purpose of it. Like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be relaxing. Like I'm sure people will try to master and get par or better, but some of it's like some of the courses are excessively long
Mhm.
and it's just very frustrating. Like at times I would just reset the hole because I was like, this is like what is going on? And then
Yeah.
sometimes you just kept because there's no it's a short meter, so you can't tell and you'd hit it in the water. And again, and again, and again, and again,
Mhm.
and again. And you're like,
Mhm.
well, this is dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's more just an experience. It's like a chill game. You can't look at it like a golf game.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. You can't look at it as a golf game, but it definitely has a storytelling to it. Like the you're listening to what is it? Radio nostalgia,
Mhm.
Mars frequency or radio or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's actually got some really good tunes. And so, like to Jason's point, like a lot of the courses, you look at the course and you're trying, and after like the fourth time, like you're trying to hit it up onto like levels that crisscross up platforms. And after like the fourth time, you overswing just a little bit because the meter sucks and doesn't tell you exactly where it's going to go. I'm like, skip. I just started skipping courses like towards the tail end of the story because I was like, I know there's 35. I'll give it at least 5 or 6 tries, and if I can't on each swing, so if I can't get to the core, to the end after trying each time the ball lands 5 or 6 times, then boom, like I'm skipping the course. But the music is good, and yeah, I think it's worth a look. Glad Matt picked it up.
Yeah, I mean the only time to strive to golf is to get the diary unlocked, which every hole, as long as you get it under par, and like par for some of these courses is like 18. It's absurd.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
make it in 12, you're good to go. This isn't like par 3. No, it's like par 12, par 15.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's bogey or double bogey where they tell you can skip.
No,
Right.
no, it's just I think if you get to a certain, I think the game can actually calculate that you're not going to make par.
Oh, and it's just
And
like
it
skip.
gives you the option to skip. Like
Yeah. I mean, because I'll be honest, I got that a lot because the course is just weird, and then the golfing itself is weird. And so it was just like, I know, I don't care. I know I can skip. I'm like, I would purposely not skip at points because I'm listening to the music or I'm listening to the person who's on the radio station telling their story of living on Mars, or what it was like living on Earth or whatever. So I'm like, that's why I took the story mode too as well, because I was like, I've played golf before. I played Golf Story. I got Mario Golf Rush. I don't need to play a golf game. I'm just here for the story. So
Yeah.
but
Well, I think this particular game is about as much golf game as Art of Rally is racing game. At least because I mean, sure you do race, but ultimately, like, I think if you are a hardcore racing sim person, you're not coming to Art of Rally. That's just my take on it. But this game and Art of Rally both have a nice utility where I can just relax while doing it, and trying to get the dialogue and the music and everything is really easy to do. But I just wish the golf was more
wish it was more intuitive.
yeah, well, intuitive, but like also, even when you zoom out the camera, it doesn't really, somehow like the goal is kind of hard to find.
Yeah, because the foreground comes into focus and literally it blocks the screen, which is weird.
It's like a I can't see the forest through the trees sort
Right.
of thing.
But
And I wish that were a little bit more intelligible than it is. I don't know if Moose is finished, but
the golf
I
course,
am finished. That's it.
the golf
okay.
course is akin to when Robin Williams describes the game of golf. If
Yes.
you've heard that skit, you know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, you do this one time? Fuck no, 18 fucking times. You put shit in the way and you feel like you're having a stroke. That's what we'll call it, a stroke.
Yeah. I love that skit. But yeah. Anything else you were playing, Moose, or was that it?
Oh, I also tried Ghost Runner, but
Okay.
I got frustrated with the demo, so I said fuck this, because like you have to like run along the walls and like kind of make your jumps, and I missed a jump or a landing or something, and I fell down to like the lower floor level, and there was like no way really for me to get back up that I could see, and I looked a lot for it, because I beat Trigger Witch yesterday and started some Golf Club Wasteland, and then I was like, all right, well, before bed I'll try a little bit of Ghost Runner real quick, and then I couldn't find a way to get back up to tackle the course properly, and I'm like, this is a real shitty tutorial. Like, you should at least have a better way. Like, you know, people are going to fall. Have a way for them to get back up there and retry the jumping. It's like it's their first time trying the game. I mean, it plays a lot like yeah, did either of y'all play Titanfall 2?
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot like the running on the walls in Titanfall 2. So you only have like a certain amount of time before you got to jump to the next wall and whatnot. And just I guess I was tired. So I really wasn't doing a good job, and just fell to a lower level. And I'm like, I can't, like, I see the jumps. And when I get up to a platform to try and run and jump, like, I'm always too low on the second wall I jump to make the big jump to the platform. And I'm like, turned it off. I don't know if I'll go back to it, because I was like, if it's going to be that frustrating and it's just the demo, I'm like, I got other things I need to play, you know, especially Thursday of this week, next week, and Friday of next week. So that's it. I'm good.
Too many games. Too many games.
Yes.
Jason.
I also played Forged in Shadow Torch, F.I.S.T. This game is awesome. I have 13 hours in. The game says I'm 53% through. I don't know if that's just a combination of exploring or the actual game. It is a Metroidvania. I think I got spoiled by Underlilies with the fast travel exists, but it's not as accessible. But that said, like, there's plenty to explore. You get the fist, you get the drill, and then you get a whip. You get an electric whip. I mean, which
that's badass.
Also functions as a grappling hook. Review score, nice. 11 out of 10. We're done.
I like it.
No,
insert GIF. You've never seen Gravity Falls, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Mabel. Grappling hook.
No, there's I have minor complaints. Remember how in Enderlos you get a new ability and you can use it whenever? In F.I.S.T, you need the weapon equipped to do it. So, like, I understand using whip as a weapon, but like I kind of wish like I can use the fist and then I can grapple. But you have to have the whip equipped. I mean, there's only 3 weapons. It's easy to switch through them.
Yeah, it's on a
Mhm.
button. You just
It's
cycle.
on L1 and on L2, but so you essentially can go clockwise or counterclockwise. But it would have been nice, like, if I wanted to grapple and I mean, there's no combat when you're doing the traversal, so it's not like it's a big deal. But there's like Michaela got the drill. She didn't probably didn't get far enough. You can swim with the drill. It becomes like your own motorboat. Like you go underwater and it propels you forward.
Jason,
But-
you motorboating some bitch.
But if it's not equipped, you won't do it. I mean, it's
Ah,
it's
okay.
it's as simple as pushing a trigger, but it's like Ender is like you can smash the floor no matter what, but you can't use Gerard's attack unless you have him equipped. So it's not like that.
So Fist is more like traditional Metroid because like if you
Yes.
wanted to blow up a door
You need to
with
switch to the
missiles, you
weapon.
needed the missiles gun. Yeah, right, exactly. But I feel like I get your frustration in the fact that like, okay, no, you're also giving me an ability with the weapon.
Because
So
he's
I
been
feel
spoiled now.
right.
Yeah, now I've been
I
spoiled.
think if you didn't play Ender Lily so close to this, it wouldn't have been a problem.
I think
I really don't
think if there was more of an arsenal, I'd be more annoyed. But like I said, you push L1, you go one way, L2 the other. There's 3 weapons.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah, so
quickly-
you're there quick. Yeah.
and there is a slight difficulty spike at times that feels like planet bullshit. It's bad. Like there's like you would think like, oh, you're in a combo, so you don't have to worry about the other enemies. No, they can pick you off as you're fighting. It doesn't matter. Like middle of the move. The only
This game
thing,
doesn't really have much in the way of iframes. They're just not there.
no, the only thing is when you're doing an execution because it's like a cutscene.
Yes.
You can't get hit. But I mean, once you figure out the patterns, it's not bad. And like, there's ways about it, but I'm really enjoying it. The voice acting, the look of it, it runs great. I do wish, but this is a personal preference. I prefer the directional pad for movement in platformers, and you can't use it. That's just a personal preference. Just that I feel I have better control with that, but
I do like that in this game. When you hit a wall, he automatically slides down it slowly. You don't have to hold against the wall.
Right.
You just stay on the wall and will gradually slowly slide down,
And-
which is
yeah,
part
and-
of the platforming.
air dashing is omnidirectional, which is cool. Most games just do the cardinal directions, so it's
Mhm.
nice that you can kind of have a little more freedom.
Yeah.
But no, I'm having a blast. I think I'm almost done story wise. Based
Yeah,
on
I
where
think
the
that
story's
53% is probably the map.
going.
Because
I got a trophy for 50%.
yeah, I think it's probably the map.
Yeah. But yeah, so I hope to finish that soon because there's a ton of games about to
Don't. I'm gonna start stressing. Don't even.
Tomorrow.
first world problems.
Yep. And then a week from tomorrow.
Less than 3 hours from now, I'll be playing one.
Wait, what's a week
Matt?
from tomorrow?
And I'm not gonna beat Tails because I'm going to Maine this coming
Son of a
weekend. So
bitch.
Matt, you
why do I have friends? Fuck this. I just want to play games.
Right? You were saying, Jason?
you have anything to contribute to the game?
So I've been playing a lot of one of our favorite games from last year, Hades. I finally cleared a run on PS4, and
9 more.
well, I think it's probably going to be quite a few more than that, but just because of, I think you have to clear one with 16 heats, I think, in order to get one of his little pointless statues because
They are not pointless. You take that back.
they're totally pointless. But yeah, so I still think this is probably one of the better ensemble casts in games. And I think that's probably because Supergiant is just so strong with dialogue and character design and just about everything. Like this game is has all the all the aspects of a great guitar solo, but from start to finish, and there's no like build up to it. It's just complete, just it sings from moment one. And it was cool that my first victory was my least favorite weapon. As per usual, it's my least favorite weapon at this point in time is the railgun. And I basically got to Hades, and I think we all had this moment where we just sort of knew we had a victory. And it was for the moment for me when I knew I had Hades on the rope was a completely scripted moment by the game. But you get through Hades' first phase, and then Zagreus just without missing beats goes, "Get up." I'm like, yeah, come meet your maker. And yeah, so I've been trying to work on trophies and get through a lot of that, and a lot of that is just going to take time because you have to start runs to make progress with a lot of the characters and Olympians and filling out the codex. But yeah, that game's still fucking good. And Bagel, why are you singing to me?
What's
Because you
Bagel
said
been
sing.
playing?
Yeah, what's Bagel been playing?
Bagel has been playing I'm Gonna Sleep on the Couch because I went for a 1.5 mile walk the other day, and that just knocks him out for 3 days because he's old. Bagel, come here, boy. Come here. So hopefully I won't have to deal with him in a second. Anyway, so I know Moose and I at some point over the weekend we played some Demon Souls, and that was fun. Made a lot of progress in his world, and then Ahmed and I today were able to play a bunch. And fuck the Swamps of Sorrow. That's really all I gotta say. That fifth Hearthstone really sucks in fractured mode. I ended up in pure black world tendencies, so there are black phantoms of giant ogres that love to just one-shot a squishy little wizard like me. And it's been a time. It's been frustrating, but still love it. We were able to finish out World 4 and a bit of World 3 as well. And I am going to take a break and deal with my dog, so I'll be right back.
Oh, baby.
Try focusing on not dying in a Souls game while you hear that in the background. I'm like, Bagel, you're killing me, literally, in a game.
That's like when I play Returnal and Arya walks in the room and she literally stands like right next to me. And then like she's silent until she's not. And it's always when I need her to be silent. Like when I'm just traversing the regular parts of the level, like talk all you want. No, let's just start talking when the boss comes out. And then you beat it. Now he has 3 phases. Damn it.
Yeah. Get used to this, kid. Life's a lot worse. Life has infinite stages.
Life has infinite. Not gaming, but this weekend. So I was working out this weekend, and my sister FaceTimed me. I want to say 2, if not 3 times while I'm at Planet Fitness, and I kept hanging up because you cannot be that asshole who takes a FaceTime at Planet Fitness. And she's like, "Why do you keep hanging up on me?"
I respect your decision.
I'm at the gym. I'm in public. I can't take a FaceTime. She's like, "Fuck you."
Be like, I'm not going to be the person that's talking to people at the gym. I'm not that person. I have to work out. Sorry.
I'll answer the phone. I am not fucking FaceTiming somebody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe answering the phone. Like if Kelly calls me while I'm at the gym, yes, I answer because it's like, is it something important or whatever, just to make sure everything's okay.
Sure.
But like, no, I'm not going to like FaceTime somebody. Well, I don't have FaceTime, but whatever. Yeah.
We were just talking about the interruptions of life.
Oh man. It seems like anytime I'm sitting at this computer recording a podcast, that's when Bagel wants to just speak to everybody. Because it happens all the time during this. It happens all the time during freewheeling it. It happens all the time during Trivial Merit. And I love him, but
I wonder if he's trying to like explain the secret to life, and he's like, "Why aren't they listening?"
he probably is.
He's like, "I'm trying to help them."
Yeah.
In,
Yeah,
in
no.
500 years, people will listen to the podcast and understand dog and like, he cured cancer, but nobody listened
He
to it.
told
And
y'all. He
and nobody
told y'all.
cared.
I actually, oh, no joke, I had a similar moment to this earlier when I was playing Tails. This is good. So I texted Jason the other night. I think I'm high. Am I high? I'm not high. Because I was just bopping along in the game. And then
Mhm.
I'm going through this like super snowy area. And then all of a sudden I'm in this like magical woodland grove with all these bright colors. And there's these two owls and they're wearing crowns. And one has a mustache. And I'm like, what the fuck? Am I fucking high? And then I was back there today. And the owls are like trying to talk, but they don't talk because they're owls, even though one has a mustache. And the characters, the two main characters, are trying to just interpret what they say, but they have no idea because they don't speak owl, so they're just making shit up. So it's like Ray Chase and Erica Lindbeck pretending they understand owls. I was like, this is like a fucking group LSD trip. I have no idea what the fuck is going on, but I fucking love it.
Mhm.
All right.
All right, is that all we've been playing? We'll move on to
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've stepped in wherever I felt appropriate for my other stuff, but yeah, Hades and Demon Souls have been it for me.
Well, Sony had a showcase.
Did they?
They did. They had
What? They
Yeah.
what?
They had quite the impressive
Who
showcase.
is Sony?
This was very much a Nintendo Direct style where it was just video. It was
Mhm.
very little in between. We started off with a live action chess commercial, which was
Which is like,
That was
what
like
are they
the
doing
one
to
weird part.
It
Fortnite
was-
now?
yeah.
Like that's what I thought this was.
Like
well,
it was
then I
like,
thought
what?
it was
This
like,
is interesting.
and then I was like, is this that auto chess game? Like, are they getting a PS5 like up? Like, what is going on?
Nope. Just
Nope.
No,
But
we're
the-
just,
Nope,
we're
just it's a world to
really
play in. Just
expensive commercial.
yep.
yeah.
And then Jim Ryan came on and goes, okay, here's the games. And we started off with well, so Lucasfilms appeared. I think-
Spoiler alert.
I think
Yeah.
3 of us said, like, oh, is this like Fallen Order? And it was like, no. The Old
No.
Republic remake by Aspire Studios.
Mhm.
This probably, I think the internet broke temporarily when they announced this. It
It's
is
gotten
a,
one of the most wanted remakes for a little while.
oh
now.
yeah. I mean, so many
Yeah.
people have talked about this forever, wanting this.
Mhm.
Next,
Myself included.
next was Project Eve, which was like Nier meets Bayonetta meets whatever else.
Scarlet Nexus, maybe. It's a hack and slash. It was revealed, I want to say 2019, maybe 2018 at
I
this
feel like
point.
we've. I think we had seen this before somewhere.
It had an initial reveal trailer 2 to 3 years ago, and then it had a gameplay reveal trailer at some point, but never at like a big event like a Sony event. It was usually just like something that I would see on my little Weebdar, like
Right.
and then tell other people about. And they're like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, yeah, Project Eve.
Yeah.
One thing that concerned me about this trailer is that it's still called Project Eve. Like, we didn't get a real title yet. But maybe
Yeah.
it's coming next year. But it don't have
Or
no
maybe
name.
it's actually called that.
It might be. You
See,
know
that's what I said to her.
It
While we were
might
watching
be.
it, I was like, could be it.
Yes. It is a hack and slash.
Next up, and I actually got this prediction right, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. We had a gameplay reveal. And a date, March 25th.
Happy
Mhm.
birthday.
Quite the
Me
cast,
too.
too. The Dragon Lord, the villain, is Will Arnett.
Nice.
And then if you watch the trailer at the end, alongside Tina is Andy Samberg, and the robot is voiced by Wanda Sykes.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that.
So this is
Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Borderlands. Great.
So this
Why
is
are there guns in fantasy?
this is basically a standalone version of the DLC that they released for Borderlands 2.
Which is one of the best DLCs.
Yeah,
period.
this was probably the highest praised DLC for 2. Next up, we got Forspoken.
This was one of my predictions.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
probably the
It looks
highlight
good.
for me. Yeah, this is probably the highlight.
Looks good.
Looks dope.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am a little like some of the facial animations weren't blowing me away, but I'm not gonna nitpick this shit because the combat looks dope. I love that it is like a magic fighting game where like you don't have a sword, there's no weapon, you are just like
Yeah.
casting, but still like fucking ripping shit up in the combat. The traversal looks dope, the environments look dope. This is fucking dragons. I like the
Yeah.
attitude of the main character so far.
She's kind of like Spider-Man when he first finds out he has powers, and she's like, "Oh shit, did I do that?"
Yeah, and then she's
Yeah.
like, "Wait, is that a
Yeah.
fucking dragon?" They said "fuck" in this trailer like 3 times. It's like Square's getting edgy. Square's getting edgy.
About time.
Well, how long is this out? How far is this out? Because I mean, I'm sure they'd have time to
I think did they say
polish up
2022?
the
I think
I
facial
think they said
expressions.
they said spring
So next year.
2022.
Oh, spring. Okay.
Yeah, I want to say well, it's Square Enix. Take it with
Could
a
be
grain of salt.
pushed.
Oh yeah,
Is-
anything that said 2022 at this point, I'm still just unless
Well,
we
it's,
have
this one said spring, I think. Spring
Right.
2022.
Hey,
Well, here that's the thing.
Besides Wonderlands, which had an actual date,
Mhm.
just a season and the year, I don't trust that.
Yeah, like
I don't
See,
even
that's-
trust actual dates because of COVID. With everything, like everything's a moving target right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what else do they have? Where else can they announce like a date for this between now and spring?
well, so yeah, so like there's a ton of so like
Yeah.
TGS is coming up in a couple weeks, but they wouldn't do it there now that they just did this. Project Triangle Strategy and Stranger of Paradise are going to be the 2 big things at TGS for
Yeah.
Square. They've got a bunch of other stuff, and I'm really hoping we might get a little bit about the Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D pixel remaster thingy. But there's Jump Festa. Who knows if Paris Games Week is happening? There's usually a couple more big events left to go for the year, especially with Japan.
I guess what I was saying is like, is there enough more towards the like in between now and March for them to be like, here's where the date is. It's not like they said summer
No, I think it's going to
or
be
a
a state
holiday
of play.
season of 2022 where they can announce a date at the quote unquote E3 presentation.
It'll be either
So-
a state of play or a Paris Games Week. It'll be a Sony event because Forspoken has only been marketed by Sony so far. Square hasn't been. Square might have actually shown it.
But they
at
could
one of
also
theirs.
pull a Ratchet and Clank. Here's
Yeah.
the date.
Oh yeah, they could just tweet it out and be like, the dates.
So
Oh, by the way, the date's next week.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sony has definitely gotten into the mode where like you don't necessarily know this event could just be a tweet until it happens.
Yeah.
So if I
Yeah.
had to guess a reveal date, it would definitely line up with the next Nintendo Direct, because that's when they did the Ratchet. Nintendo Direct, 1 hour later, here's the release date.
Yeah.
Just to be dicks. Speaking of which, surprised no Nintendo Direct yet, like news or anything, because September
Yeah,
they
for the
usually do a big
winter.
one. They
Well, no,
usually do a
they've
big
had
one in
like-
they've
September.
had a September one the past 5 years, I think.
Yeah, pretty much every time. So it's usually a sizable
Which-
one.
Which week of the month usually? I don't even pay attention to that.
I want to say I don't remember last year's, but 2 years ago it would have already happened.
So it would have been like the first week,
Usually first 2 weeks.
first 2 weeks.
Next.
Maybe they're just letting things go with what they got. But anyways,
Next
sorry,
up,
Jason.
Rainbow Six Extraction. We're gonna see
Resident Evil Extraction.
right. Rainbow Six.
He almost went there.
Yeah, I did.
Tom Clancy's Resident Evil.
Well, this is more gameplay footage. We've seen a bunch of this game. I don't know if any of us are actually interested
This
in
one
it.
has a date, doesn't it?
Yeah, this one, I think it did. I might have missed it. Next was, which was actually, I don't know if it was leaked or just announced, but Alan Wake Remastered is coming October 3rd or something. But
I
they showed
think the way that Remedy did this, they did this because this was in the Sony event. Yes.
yes, but it
And
was we knew
it was-
like that earlier that day.
Yes.
We knew it was coming to PC.
Yes, that's
Sam,
what it
I
was.
think who's the guy at Remedy? Is it Sam Lake? Is that who that is?
Yes, he wrote. Yeah, Sam Lake. There was
He wrote a letter at like an Alan Wake fan site.
Yeah,
Like that's how the news got out. So like it wasn't necessarily a leak. I just think they just
but
handled
like
they
Michaela
handled the
said,
message.
it was for PC. They didn't
Yes.
say console at the time.
This
Yeah.
is October, right?
Yes.
October 5th-ish, somewhere in
Yeah, I
there.
think so. Next up, GTA 5 was shown. And now we have a release. It's
Run it
March.
back.
Yeah.
And for those wondering, because Moose actually asked, GTA Online will be free. GTA Online is going standalone, and if you have PlayStation Plus, you can claim it in the first 3 months after release. Otherwise, then you have to buy it.
See, I always when they said that, what was it last year before the PS5 came out, they made an announcement that GTA 5 was coming to the PS5, and it was free with Plus. I thought it was the actual game, not online. But I guess like you and I were talking, like they'll probably do an upgrade path. Like it'd be stupid not to do an upgrade path.
Right.
You know?
I think it's online is what, and let's be honest, online is what's making them the money now.
Right. No, I totally agree. I mean, even if it was a $10 upgrade, I would still pay it because I've had so much fun with Grand Theft Auto 5 and I want to replay that again. So, but anyways.
Next up, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Which looks entertaining.
Yeah, this has made some progress as we last saw it because it did not look great at its last showing.
To me, it still looks like a VR title without the VR. Like I can't wrap my head around the whole magic and just I like with the arms waving. It just I don't know. It's not for me.
Throws you off.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I mean, I don't know how many first person magic users we've had in the past. Like I can't think of any other
Skyrim.
than
I was gonna
Yeah.
say if you can do it, you don't have to, but you can do Skyrim.
You could do it in Skyrim. Yeah.
but so I think that's probably just
Yep.
the more that idea permeates the space, it'll probably become easier to get used to.
we'll see more of Guardians of the Galaxy. They now showed dogfights, which is really cool. They didn't.
Yeah, this
show that-
actually looks promising.
The
Yeah.
game looks good. It has a
Yeah.
PR issue. It has to overcome the stigma that Avengers created last year. And it's got to do it soon because it's coming out in a month and a half.
Mhm.
Well, I think this will have less of a problem because they have I guess Avengers does have a set amount of characters, though they're still keep adding
This
to
is
the roster.
single player. It's
Yes,
a
it is.
story driven. It's not going to be gas like Avengers was, but
Right. But what I mean is
Yeah.
like they have all of the Guardians. So it's not just like Spider-Man or whatever, but it's still, I feel, has a better chance because it is the Guardians. You're not trying to shoehorn all the crazy stories of all the main Avengers into a game. You're just getting, you got the Guardians. Everybody knows the Guardians are great together and they have their great individual stories, but they're better as a group than the Avengers were. So I feel story-wise, to be honest. So.
Next, Blood Hunt, the Vampire the Masquerade spin-off. It's the PvP game.
It's Battle Royale. And yeah, it's what they made after they killed off the sequel. But
Did they kill off that sequel? Has that sequel been canceled?
That's dead. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I believe so. You might have to Google that to confirm it. And I think this is out now. People are playing it now, I think.
All right.
On Steam. It might be out on Steam. Early access then, if it's not already released. But anyways.
We have to see footage of Deathloop, which is out now. Getting pretty high praise.
Yes.
So I'm sure we'll talk about this more next week, because at least I will be playing it. Next up was Next up was Radiohead's foray into video games.
No. No.
Denied.
No, that's not what this is. It's something. This reminds me. Like I was talking in a Discord I'm in for Uppercut Crit. I was talking with some people, or well, actually, one person in particular that knows a lot about like the old like adventure games of the '90s, and they brought up the old like they brought up the old like Peter Gabriel CD-ROMs that happened, or they were bringing up other ones or whatever. I think they brought up the Devo one, and then I brought up, remember the Peter Gabriel one? Remember David Bowie's internet thing that he did? And I'm getting a very mean look from my wife because the dog was
Why did you
annoying
put
her.
Bagel in the corner?
No, why did I put Bagel in the bedroom and shut the door? That's what she's asking me.
Because I'm trying to do a podcast, baby.
But I feel like that's what this is rather than a game. Like don't expect a first person Tom York or
It's an experience.
yeah, this is going to be a very minimal thing at best. And
It's called Kid Amnesia, but it's stylized as Kid Amnesia.
it's Kid Amnesia.
Yeah,
It's a combination of Kid A and Amnesiac, the two Radiohead albums. Like it's basically they've been out for 20 years at this point, and that's what this is about.
Next up, I might pronounce this wrong. Takia.
Chia.
Takia.
I think it's just Chia, isn't it?
It might be Chia.
This is like I don't even know how to describe it. It's anyone want to take a stab?
I remember the name, and that's it.
It's bright and colorful, almost like
bright.
Rhyme.
So it's Eco, some Breath of the Wild, maybe.
What's it
Maybe.
spell?
TCHIA, I believe.
Mm.
I'm just gonna look at it.
I remember post the event, a lot of people speaking positively about it.
Yeah, I mean it probably will be a good game, but
Mhm.
I said after, I mean, obviously it's not for me, but besides that, it was the left turn of the show compared to everything else. Like you had Blood Hunt, Deathloop, and then you had Kid Amnesia. And what the fuck happened here? But there was probably a reason they they slowed the pace, because then we got the heavy hitters.
Yes.
First up, we got Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy being remastered and coming out on PS5 and PC. Which this is huge.
Which that's huge.
Sony is unrelenting with their charged PC.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Did y'all hear the news that the other PlayStation titles are actually in the directories for NVIDIA?
Yeah. Returnal, God of War 20.
God of War and Demon Souls.
They'll make their money on PlayStation first, and then they'll put them on PC to make more money.
Which I think I think they're stupid if they don't diversify, because Microsoft's doing it. Do it, man.
Well,
Your console
makes
sells
more
no
on
matter
PC.
what.
Yeah.
I think their problem is like they're still of the frame of mind where it's like we need games on our console to sell our console. No, your console sells because you still have people out there that just want to buy something that plays games.
Yeah.
Like I know so many people that just buy a console that because it plays games for them, and all they have to do is turn it on.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like with a PC, you could have like driver problems, you could have update problems, you have this problems. Your PS5, generally speaking, I want to say 99%, I would say almost 100% of the time, it's 99.9. When I hit that on button, it starts and I can play whatever game I have in my library downloaded. So that's why people still buy consoles. So they don't need the games to sell the consoles. People buy the consoles anyways.
Well, which console you buy, because not everybody can afford all three of them for the main ones. which
Yeah.
console you buy is determined by which games it plays. Like
Right.
I own a PlayStation instead of an Xbox because I am weeb.
Hear
Right.
her roar.
There is that, and there are a lot of people that American gamers in particular that pick up an Xbox because they want to play Halo and Gears of War
Sure.
and the same game, reskinned over and over again. But I get what you're saying, but it's also like if it's on our console and PC. If I'm going to pick up a console, I want this as my console, So,
Next up,
anyways,
this. So we didn't record it, but I'm pretty sure I squeaked when this happened. So the Marvel logo comes up, and we all
It's an Insomniac logo as well. So we all
we assume
Mhm.
Spider-Man.
make an intuitive leap.
Mhm.
Yes. And the picture is a bar fight gone terribly wrong.
I do want to tell y'all when it showed the bar, I was like, no, it's not Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, no,
But anyways,
Peter Parker ain't no alcoholic. Come on.
I'm like, he might be an alcoholic, but he ain't gonna be sitting in the fucking
When
bar.
I saw the
But-
bar scene, I was like, this looks weird. Like, you don't think Spider-Man and there was like this random cannon fodder of a dude pulls out a knife, and then all of a sudden you hear schnick, Wolverine swords come out, and you're like, and yeah. So Insomniac is doing a Wolverine game, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
even cooler that there were no leaks. Like there was
Yes.
I don't think there was any internet chatter about a Wolverine game coming.
No.
Like
Oh, people are still talking about Superman. No one was thinking about Wolverine.
Yeah. Or they were even talking about Infamous. They were like,
Yeah, that was
That's
the big
coming.
rumor. Infamous
Yeah.
remaster trilogy, whatever.
yeah.
But
Next
no,
up we saw-
Wolverine.
a montage of Gran Turismo from Polyphony. This game looks absolutely gorgeous. Whether you
It
like
does look really good.
This is like pulling out all the stops of the PS5. This looks impressive. And then we saw the Marvel logo again. And then Insomniac, and it's like, what the fuck? Do these people sleep? And you see Spider-Man and Miles, and they look to an alleyway, and it's Venom.
Mhm.
hmm
We're at Spider-Man 2. I guess it's basically merging the Spider-Man game, the Miles, which we kind of expected, with the continued storyline from the Peter Parker Spider-Man game, and that's 2023. I mean, that's what it is set as now. We'll see.
That ain't happening, I don't think.
And
I mean, come on, look at what they've been fucking doing though.
but who knows? I mean, look, I mean, they're obviously busy.
Yeah.
And it seems to be all but confirmed that the other villain in the game is Kraven, the hunter.
Okay.
For anyone familiar, me and Moose were talking about it. I was like, who the hell is that? And then
There's
I
gotta be
thought
some
about it.
Green Goblin shit too.
No. Now that does make sense now. I didn't even think of that guy.
Because
That makes total sense.
Because he's talking about the hunt and he finds an equal. So to go further, people are speculating that you will play as Venom eventually to help fight Kraven. And to go along with the fact that Venom's like a anti-hero in other forms of media now. So
Mhm.
we'll see where they go.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's been what? That'll make it 5 years since 2018.
Yeah. hmm
Okay.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And
that-
Miles
that
was
could
a
probably-
smaller project. It's
Miles was
probably the
small.
same team that worked on Spider-Man, Miles, and this game. Separate team for
And obviously,
Ratchet.
with Miles,
yeah.
I mean, lazy developers just reuse the assets. Anyway,
Right. Yeah. Let's not
And we
do that.
then we saw a bunch of sizzle reels and like, yeah, it's like, is that gonna end on that? Nope. We have to see God of War Ragnarok. But the biggest thing is Cory Barlog is not directing it. But I didn't realize this at the time. He's the only repeat director. They've used a different director for every entry. But it's not a newcomer. The guy, he's on the team. He's been on the team the whole time.
Why?
But then like Corey, he teased that he can't tease what he's working on. So Santa Monica is obviously already starting on their next project.
Well, I think we knew that though, because they've been hiring pretty aggressively for something that is
Yeah.
not God of War.
And this is the final God of War for this story.
Yes.
They've
The
said
Norse
the
one.
Norse. They said we will see Ragnarok.
But that means they're probably thinking about taking it to other mythologies afterwards, because they're not going to walk away from like God of War after bringing it back so successfully in 2018.
Yeah. And Santa
Yeah.
Monica's figured, how can we top Capcom's 9-foot-tall lady? Fat Thor.
Mhm.
The internet.
Fat Thor.
Okay, you know what my entire Twitter timeline was? It wasn't even body shaming Fat Thor. It was people getting mad at other people for body shaming Fat Thor, and I'm like, if you just shut up, the noise would go away, because I don't even
Yeah,
see
just
people body shaming Fat Thor.
Yeah,
I saw more people horny for Fat Thor than body shaming Fat
And the
Thor.
thing is,
yeah,
in Norse mythology, Thor has a healthy appetite. And
yes, yes, he does.
Thor's got to eat, y'all.
There's Norse mythology and there's Marvel. They are different. Go
Yes.
check
Well-
on Insomniac if you want the other one.
we don't have to go into it because the internet sucks, but Matt Sophos, he's one of the lead writers, basically put down a troll hard, saying they said something about body shaming and the color of a character, and he goes, "Oh, so dwarves are blue?"
Yeah, nobody even, but also only one of them is blue, and their brothers, Brock and Sindri, are different.
This looks, and they're using, so Christopher Judge is back as Kratos. I can't think of his name, but the kid is back as,
And he's definitely gone through a
Atreus.
little bit of puberty,
they've
just like a little
actually-
bit.
they've actually aged him up. Danielle Basati is back. She looks pissed. I mean,
Yes.
Kratos kills her son. Spoiler.
Well, did you see? I saw something really cool. Somebody grabbed this because, of course, people have been analyzing the shit out of this trailer. She's wearing pieces of her son's like clothing on her new character design. It's dope as fuck. She's gonna be a great villain.
She is psychotic.
Freya looks dope. Anger Boda looks very intriguing. Tyr looks dope.
That's a. If you haven't watched the trailer, watch it. When Kratos confronts Tyr and Tyr just stands up and he's like looking down at him.
It's like Kratos should never have to adopt this position.
He's been doing that for 5 games now.
The Titans and takes him down.
Yeah, but this isn't a Titan. This is another like he's not like
Well, for those
the size of the screen.
for those unaware, Tyr is the Norse god of war. So
And was referenced throughout the first game.
cool if they fought. Kratos is going to take out God of Wars all through the.
I mean, that's kind of what he does.
But that was the showcase. It was a pretty good show. I mean, they kind of.
You want some spoilers?
It was a
What?
very
Some
good
Norse,
show.
some Norse mythology spoilers.
Sure.
So the girl at the end of the trailer in Norse mythology is actually Loki's wife.
She's the. Isn't she the mother of giants?
They said
Yeah.
they kept calling her the last giant
Yeah.
in this trailer.
She's also the mother of the world serpent.
Yeah, no,
It's like,
the world
yeah.
serpent is Loki's son. We knew that.
Yeah,
isn't
Yeah,
I forget. There's a lot of weird shit. I don't want to.
there's 3 of them. They had 3 kids. I can't
Isn't
remember
one
off
of
the
them
top of my head now.
Fenrir? Is Fenrir
Oh, and
one of
then-
them?
I think you are correct. Yes, and then Hel is the other kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they announced that Odin's the voice actor is Richard Schiff from West Wing.
Oh, nice.
Apparently they reached out to him and he goes, "Yeah, why not? Let's do this." But yeah, it was a strong show. A lot of things to be excited about down the pipeline, even though we have tons of games to play now.
Yes, too many. So
Yeah.
I just want to say before we because I feel like we're barreling towards the conclusion. I just want to say, as much as I've wanted a Knights of the Old Republic remake, I was really shocked at how little I felt. Thanks, Bagel. I was shocked at how little I felt on the announcement. I was just like, man, are we really doing this? I've wanted this for so long, and now I'm just kind of like, that's probably better without it.
Well, it's also probably because it's basically just announced.
Yeah.
Like they could have just released a press release and it would have had the same effect because they didn't show anything. So
they
it's
should.
more just like, okay, now I know it's coming. How long am I gonna have to fucking wait?
Yeah, I honestly, and I'm at a point in my life where I don't know if I'm gonna go back to that because I played the crap out of that on Xbox. I did love that game a lot.
I've never played it, so I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you guys, I don't know if you follow on Twitter, Shinobi, Newman. He actually revealed this 2 years ago in a tweet, and nobody picked up on it. He was talking about Star Wars and what this studio aspires to be, and he quote tweeted himself, and it was like, "See, I told you guys." And it is a console exclusive. Now it's PC and PS5.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't actually said it, but it seems like it'll be a timed release.
Oh yeah. Because if BioWare is taking any money from that, which I'm assuming they are, as would be the Disney Corporation, I would assume they would want to be able to take as much as they could, and that would be from multiple platforms. We'll see that on Switch eventually.
I mean, we got a bunch of Star Wars games coming out, but
Yes.
Wait, did you just say we'll see KOTOR remastered on Switch?
Oh, eventually. I bet you they do it. I'll bet you
It'll
they
never
do it.
happen.
Why you say that? Oh yeah, they got the.
You think that thing's gonna
fucking
run?
Witcher on Switch, man.
They have Doom on Switch.
they'll do.
I'm not saying it'll be good. I'm not saying it'll run well. I'm not saying it will compete with PC or console. I'm just saying that'll probably be on Switch eventually.
How old is Switch?
4 years.
Okay. How old is the PS5?
Well, okay, so maybe the next version of the Switch.
It'll be on Switch too. It's not going to be on this Switch at all. Period.
I don't know, man. I would bet.
Are you kidding me? They have to develop and make the game, and then they actually have to port it to a Switch. So you think how long it's going to take for them to develop the game? Decide to port it.
I'm not
it'll
saying
be one of those cloud things.
Look, hold on. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's something I want. I'm not saying I'm not asking for it. I'm saying they'll probably put that on Switch eventually. And they'll find a way to do it.
It'll be on a Nintendo console. It'll never be on Switch.
Sorry, semantics.
I wish I had some disposable income because I would bet on that right now. I just don't, so I can't.
Well, yeah, but I mean, good show. But
yes,
you know what? If there wasn't stuff for you, guess what?
Shut up, you whiny bitches. It's not about you.
Bye.
At Story Route Zero, we have some cool friends who do some cool things, and I'd like to tell you about them. Phoenix Overdrive uses the power of games and gamers to help heal sick kids through the charity Extra Life. Phoenix Overdrive fundraises for Children's Miracle Network hospitals all year, every year, and the fund culminates in a 24-hour gaming marathon. Find out more about their events and projects online via Facebook at facebook.com/Phoenix Overdrive or on Twitter and Instagram at PHX_Overdrive. You can also join the Facebook group of Pawn Stars at facebook.com/groups/PO Nation in order to share and discuss all the latest in nerd culture. They've also got a podcast, Nerd Overdrive, which you can see weekly at youtube.com/Phoenix Overdrive. You can also catch it on Facebook Live or twitch.tv/PHX_Overdrive. That podcast is also published on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. You want merch? They got merch. Merch can be ordered from tinyurl.com/PHXOD-merch, a portion of which goes to their fundraising efforts. Join the nation and be a hero to sick kids, as El Capitan Ray Osorio, Lee the Maestro, and Becky, the lovely Queen of the Guild, always say, #Rise Above. Thank you for listening to Story Route Zero. We hope you have enjoyed your time here as much as we've enjoyed having you. Once again, questions, concerns, complaints, pictures of pets, or favorite recipes can be sent to storyroute0@gmail.com. You can yell at us on Twitter @StoryRoute0. Rate us and review us on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you may have found us, as it helps with discoverability. If you'd like to hit us up individually, you can find Moose Cool @Sven, that's SVHENN on Twitter, PSN, Instagram, and of course Twitch, streaming games. You can find Jason Marshall writing at obelisk.co. You can also find him on Twitter @GimpyJ.